Okay, this is test number 11. We're going through sections 4.4, from 1.1 all the way to 4.4. First question asks which number is divisible by 3. So in order to do that, you need to divide them by 3. If you try all of them, the first number actually, both of the numbers 6 and 3, 3 goes into them. So when you divide by 3, it goes into 6 twice and then 3 once. So 21, that's the one that actually comes up. If you try the rest of them, you try to put 3 into the rest of them, it won't go into them evenly. It goes into 6 for this first one evenly twice, but it doesn't go into the 1 evenly, so it's not that one. It doesn't go into, it goes into the 52, it goes into, dividing it by 3, it goes into the 5 once, but then there's 22 left over, and it doesn't go into 22 evenly. And then into 7, it goes into it twice, but then there's 10 left over, so it doesn't go into that one. The first one's actually the correct answer. For number 2, we're solving for x. Notice we have variables on both sides, 4x on the left, 3x on the right. You want to move your x's all to the same side. That's positive 3x, so you want to subtract 3x. You subtract 3x on the right, you got to do the same on the left. 4x minus 3x is 1x. Minus 9 equals negative 4. In order to get rid of minus 9, you need to add 9. If you add it on the left, you need to add it on the right. X will be by itself because these will cancel. Equals 9, positive 9 and negative 4. You subtract them. 9 minus 4 is 5. And since 9 is farther from 0, x is 5. Positive. Number 3, you have 6d plus d minus 5d plus 8 equals 5d. You have to put all of your like terms together. 6d plus 5d and minus 5d. 6d plus d is 7d. 7d minus 5d leaves you with 2d plus 8 equals 5d. Now you want to put all of your d's to the same side. So put your smaller one over on the same side as your larger one. 2d needs to go to that side then. It's a positive 2d, so you subtract 2d. If you subtract it on the left, you need to subtract it on the right. These will cancel and leave you with just 8 equals 5d minus 2d is 3d, okay? And that says 3 right next to d, which means times d. In order to undo times d, you divide by 3. If you divide the right by 3, you divide the left by 3. These will cancel and leave you with just d equals, and it's not going to be an even number. There's no number that goes into both 8 or 3, so it's simplified as 8 over 3. Number 4 says 6 equals negative d plus 19. Move all your constant terms over to one side. You have positive 19, move it over to that side. It means plus 19, so subtract 19. If you subtract 19 on the right, you need to subtract 19 on the left. You subtract 19 on the right, you need to subtract 19 on the left. 6 minus 19 is negative 13 equals, bring your negative d down, cancel these out. That's the same thing as negative 1 times d. In order to undo times by negative 1, divide by negative 1. You're going to divide the right by negative 1, divide the left by negative 1. Negative divided by negative makes it a positive 13 equals, these will cancel and leave you with just d. So d equals 13. For number 5, it asks you for the unit rate of parts manufactured per hour. If 1,172 parts are made in 4 hours, make sure you make that correction on your study guide. It looks like 172. It's actually 1172. This is the key right here. It says parts manufactured per hour. So it's actually going to be parts per hour. That's how you need to set it up. So the parts are 1,172 parts, and it's in 4 hours. That just says 1172 divided by 4. When you do 1,172 divided by 4, you actually get 293 parts per 1 hour. And that's your unit rate. Every 1 hour, 293 parts. For number 6, we're solving the proportions 7 over 3 equals 18 over x. Anytime you solve proportions, cross multiply makes it easier. 7 times x is 7x, and 3 times 18 equals 54. So 7x or 7 times x equals 54. Divide by 7 to get x by itself. These will cancel. divide the other side by 7, it's going to come out to a decimal number. When you estimate 54 divided by 7, it's approximately, notice the squiggly equal sign, 7.71. I always take it to 2 decimal places, 7.71. Number 7 says W plus 14 over 4W plus 6 equals 3/4. Again, cross multiply. When you do this, notice there's two terms, W plus 14 multiplying by 4. So you need to make sure 4 multiplies by W plus 14 by both of them. Equals 4W plus 6 times 3, same thing, 3 times 4W plus 6. Then just make sure you distribute. 4 times W is 4W. 4W, and 4 times 14 is positive 56. Equals 3 times 4W is 12W, and 3 times 6 is positive 18. Okay. Now we have W's on both sides. We need to move our W's to the same side. Put your smaller one over by your larger one. 4 smaller than 12W. So let's move that one over. It's positive. So that means plus 4W. In order to undo it, subtract 4W. You subtract 4W on the left, do the same thing on the right, and you have 8W now over there, plus 18, and we'll bring the rest of it down, equals, these will cancel since that's what we just did. 56 is on that side. Now you have plus 18, you want to move that one over to the other side. In order to undo plus 18, you subtract it. If you subtract 18 on the right, you have to subtract 18 on the left. 56 minus 18 is 38, equals 8W, and these will cancel out. So now you have 8 times W. In order to undo multiply by 8, you divide by 8. You divide the right by 8. You have to divide the left by 8. And these will cancel and leave you with just W, equals 4.75. Number 8 says x minus 10 equals 5x minus 6. Again, you want to move all your x's to the same side. This is the same thing as 1x. You need to write it in, you can. You want to move that smaller x over to the larger one. It's a positive 1x. So that's like plus 1x. So you want to subtract x, or 1x. You subtract x on one side, you have to subtract x on the other side. This will cancel and leave you with just, don't forget your negative 10, equals 5x minus 1x is 4x minus 6. Move your minus 6 over to the other side. In order to undo minus 6, you add 6. You add 6 there, add 6 to the other side. Negative 10 plus 6 is going to be negative 4, equals 4x, and these will cancel. Get rid of your 4 times x by dividing by 4. Do the same thing to the other side. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1, opposite terms. And these will cancel and leave you with just x. So x is negative 1. Number 9, 4x plus 2 equals negative 4x minus 6. Again, move your smaller x on over to your larger x side. Negative 4x needs to go over. It's minus 4x, so add 4x to cancel it. You add 4x to the right, add 4x to the left. 4x plus 4x is 8x plus 2. Equals, these will cancel and leave you with, don't forget your negative, negative 6. Move everything that's not a variable term to the other side, or your x term. Says plus 2, so subtract 2. You subtract 2 on the left, subtract 2 on the right. You're left with 8x. These will cancel each other, equals negative 6 minus 2, same sign, add them up. You get 8, and since they are negative, keep them negative. That says 8 times x, so undo that by dividing by 8. You divide the left by 8, divide the right by 8. These will cancel and leave you with just x. And negative 8 divided by positive 8, opposite signs, is going to be negative 1. Negative 1. Number 10 says graph y equals negative 3x minus 2. You've learned 2 ways to graph so far. Next week we'll get to a third way. You could have plotted 3 points for this one, but this week we learned x and y intercepts, so that's the way we'll show this real quick. So find your x-intercept, and we'll find our y-intercept. So you're going to have to run the equation 2 times. In order to find your x-intercept in place of the opposite letter, so in this case the y, you're going to plug in 0. So 0 equals negative 3x minus 2. Let's get all of our values. Let's get x by itself. So let's move negative 3x over. It's like minus 3x, so add 3x. You add 3x to that side, add it to this side. So what you have now is 3x equals, these will cancel. Don't forget the negative 2. Then to get x by itself, it says 3 times x, so divide by 3. Do it to the left, do it to the right. These will cancel, leave you with x equals negative 2/3. So that's your x-intercept. Now we're going to have to find our y-intercept as well. This one's a little quicker. In place of x, we're going to plug in 0. So y equals negative 3 times 0 minus 2. Negative 3 times 0 is going to be 0 minus 2 equals y. Remember, anytime something's 0 minus something's the same thing as eliminating it or eliminating it. So what you're left with is y equals negative 2. Now you have your x and y intercepts, so that's what we'll graph. We don't have to go very far on our graph. Negative 2 is our farthest absolute value. Just remember, let's go a couple of them to show everything. Your first one, your x value or your x-intercept, that's your x-axis. It's negative 2/3. So if this is negative 1 here, 2/3 is about a little bit past halfway. And y's value is negative 2. This is your y-axis. Negative 2 would be there. And draw your line to complete your graph. Number 11 says find the rate of change. It says you run 5 miles in 1 hour, so 5 miles in 1 hour, and 10 miles in 2 hours. Okay, so 5 miles in 1 hour, 10 miles in 2 hours. It's already it's already simplified for you in this sense, so it's actually 5 miles per 1 hour. So every hour you're going to go up 5 miles. Number 12 says find the slope. When you have a picture, you can count them. It's really easy. Go to your leftmost point, and then remember it's your change of y over your change of x, or how many times you go up or down over how many times you go left or right. If you go up, it's positive, down, it's negative, left, it's negative, right, it's positive. So from that lefternmost point, how many times do you have to go up or down to get to the next point? You have to go down 1 time, 2 times. Since we went down, it's negative 2. And we need to go to the right 1 time, 2 times. To the right is positive 2. So your slope is negative 2 over positive 2. If you simplify that, negative 2 divided by 2, your slope is negative 1. Number 13 says find the slope, and this is the one that's tough for you to see on your study guide, everybody. You want to use the points that are integers where it goes through. The easiest ones are 3, 0. That's the one that most people can see. This one down here is the one that's harder to see, negative 3, negative 1. But the same thing, it's up or down over your left and your right. That's rise over run. So start at your leftmost one. You need to go up once, twice, 3 times. You need to go up 4 times, so that's positive 4. And to the right, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So positive 4, positive 3 is your slope. And that's simplified, 4 over 3. Number 14 says find the slope. And we'll pick that one up on the next video, part 2.